Hello, everybody. Mm, we're going to read cards tonight from the Ancient Tarot cards, Shamanic Power Animal Oracle cards, and magical messages from your fairies. So, let's see who's all going to come in tonight. Who all wants a reading. Hello. How are you? I'm glad you're here. You're the one that don't talk. I'm still glad you're here. Hello. Welcome. I was just checking on something. Well, we're going to read cards as soon as we get enough people in here. If we get people in here. What's that? Do-do-do-do. This is how it is, because I took a long break. So how are you doing? I wish you would talk to me so I have somebody to talk to. Well, thank you. Hello. Welcome to my stream. Even if you don't type or anything, I'm doing all the talking. Sharing my channel out. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Share my channel. Goodbye. I gotta wipe the cards up. If I get people in here. Mm-hmm. Hello. Welcome to my stream. If you have time to share my channel out. I want to get some people in here so I can read some cards. Welcome, welcome, welcome. No one's typing. No one wants to be number one. My ghost shadows! Hello, sweetheart. What are you up to? I'm not giving up. I'm starting back streaming. I'm not going to give up. Yeah, I'm alone. Boo. I got red here. So blessed hot. Right now it's 86 in my trailer. 80 outside. Yeah, they said it's supposed to get real hot today. We stayed in the bedroom most of the day. That's where the air conditioner is. We're looking for a 15,000 BTU air conditioner for out here for the kitchen living room area. I haven't found one yet. Yeah, we see them on. We got a freebie channel up here. We see them. We see them for 15, 16. You know, cheap. But by the time I get there, it's probably gone. Hello, welcome to the stream. If you would like, you can come in and chat and share my channel out. Or not. I don't know. I've been playing this game here. It's really helping me with my stress, my depression, my anxiety stuff. So I've been trying to work on that. wonder where Mason is. He's usually one of the first ones here. Man. I might have to read a story just to entertain myself. Oh, he comes in all the time on my channel. He's like a nephew to me now. One time it was me and him for 2 hours talking. Just me and him. Nobody else came in. We just talked. I read stories. We enjoyed ourselves. Mike, where are you from? George! Hello! How have you been since the last time I seen ya? Mike's here somewhere. I think he left for a little bit. Been busy, huh? We have people in here, I'm gonna start reading cards. There he is. Here's Mr. Mike. Ew! Speaking of that, 9 days. See. Oh, do you still support a lot? That's good. I've been sweating my ass off. I stayed in the bedroom all day. Tells you how hot it's here. No. No, no, and no, 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 no. It's hot enough here. Mike, I don't know if you heard me. Oh, or Florida. You're from Florida. That's what I thought. You come up here, George. The humidity is ridiculous. Look what it's doing to my hair. Frizzy, frizzy. Only certain times of the year it's cold. You're originally from Texas. I gotta get to know Mike all over. Yeah, I'm gonna do card readings. I like to get some people in here. The show in 5, but I'm only talking to 2. Thank you for the thumbs up. If you would, please share me out so we can get some people in here. I'm hot and I want a cinnamon disc. Sulphur Springs. Speaking of that, my granddaughter's going in the service. She's going to Great Lakes first for her 9 weeks training, whatever it is. Then she's going to Texas for 19 weeks. She's going to be a nurse. She don't have nothing to do with me, so I'm just gonna go to her graduation party and you know, all that good. Navy. Navy. Yeah, Navy. I think she just did it to get away from her dad. He's so damn controlling. Well, she turned 18 this year. She was still in school though, but she was homeschooled. She's so smart. She only had one class for 12th grade. She had all her points. Well, when she turned 18, she called the state police department and asked them questions, and she went up to her dad's house and started packing everything up, and she said, I'm moving out. Moving in with mom. So that's where she's been since. I was there. Okay, he was there. Come on, I got the cards out. Let's get some people in here. Guess who was in here last night, Mike? I don't know if you were. Yeah, you were here last night. Guess who was in here? I don't know if she was in here at the same time. You were in here, but Cindy was here. I'm old enough to retire, but I don't want to. We can do stories tonight, but my books are way over there. I'm gonna read cards too, Corral. Does anybody want a card reading now? Let's get the card readings out of the way. Oh. Okay. George, you want the magical messages for the fairies from the fairies? Shamanic power animals? And the angels cards. No, you didn't miss nothing. It's the same old, same old. Well, you missed it. Me and Cindy did talk to each other for over a year. All right. Okay. You got the 5 of water. Things not turning out the way you hoped. Not seeing the positive in a situation. Crying over spilt milk. Things may not have turned out the way you expected. Be careful not to focus too much on the negativity, as there's a positive in every situation. You may be missing the silver lining. Fighting or trying to ignore change doesn't serve you. Instead, have faith that everything happens for a reason. It's healthy to grieve what has been lost and take time to heal. Reach out to friends, family, and wise counselors for support and comfort. Additional meanings of this card: sadness, the end of a relationship, wishing you could change the past, obsession, crying over spilt milk. That was for George. He got the 5 of water. Okay, who's next? Mike Corral, who's next? Yep, there's always good out there. Yes. Try to stay positive. Yep. Don't think on the negativity. Me. Corral, you here? Mike, you here? Which one wants a card reading? Hello? Hello? I think they left us, George. Mike, did you want a reading? Yeah, it shows 5 here, but nobody's talking. That's okay. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot you had other... Yeah, I forgot you take off and do other channels, too. He's all over the board. Curl left already. I guess I can go do a story. Yep. Cut us some slack, boss. Okay. Wow. I don't know how to do that, so... You're probably on 200. I gotta go up and get my medication tomorrow. Right now it's 80 outside. It got up to, last time 95 I seen today, but I think it got higher than that. Like I said, I've been in the bedroom. Yeah, mine are done. I just wait an extra day when the doctor sends them in. I just wait an extra day. I got some new ointment too for my psoriasis. I'm seeing a skin specialist now, dermatologist. I crack so bad I just want to scream. Come on, people. Let's check my channel out. Let's see if I can do it. Share. I just shared it on Facebook. Yeah, and she told me to get gloves. Because water is the worst thing for psoriasis. I have it on my hands and my elbows. Right now I'm clearing up, so. Then, nobody loves me. I gotta put my PayPal up. And I gotta see if it works. So I'll try it when I get paid. I have. Yes. Aw, thank you, George. Now you're gonna make me cry. That's right. Even the trolls love me. Which is surprising. I'm just gonna see how long I can go tonight. You mean with the spirit box and stuff? Not since I came back. No. I haven't. Hmm. Oh, really? I haven't got that radio that one radio box you have from Radio Shack. I haven't even tried to get it yet. But I got a new, Don got me a RIM pod. I was on this morning too. I'm back on my blood thinners. Oh, neat. I'm gonna have to watch that. Welcome back, Mike. Welcome to my stream. Come on in, chat. Share my channel out. headsets. Drive me nuts. Channels I don't even watch, I've been unsubscribing from. I can't watch all of them. I don't watch them, so why have them? No, I right here. Oh, okay, you're right there. I will. I will watch it. You know how it is when you sweat? I'm about ready to just go walk in the shower and just go and crawl in bed. You're welcome, sweetie. You're welcome. I do. It just pours right off me. Kidding. You're not like what's his name on that Winchester. He don't sweat. Nope, he don't sweat. Never let it. Well, I can't help it when it just goes down like this, like a river right down my face. I gotta find my things that go around my neck. I think it's in my camping stuff. Jeez. Oh. I can't remember old commercials. Just the stupid ones. Oh. Yeah, Brett's doing okay. He's laying right here, getting some fan air, which is warm. He'll be okay though. It's Wednesday, and usually YouTube's slow on Wednesdays. I don't know why people don't stream. It's usually quiet. I was just testing it out, but I'm gonna be streaming, so yeah, that's what I see. They got chicken wings because they don't want to come in. I got an idea who they are. I know the one for sure. Because she comes in when I'm reading stories. Because she likes when I read stories. I ain't saying who it is, so. Because I could read a story. And go get my, I'm gonna take Red out, then go get my books, and I'll be a few minutes. Come on, Red. Let's go. Come on. Come on. got some of my new books. My shopping book. Okay. I got one that's called Pennsylvania Cover Bridges. But they show pictures of the bridges and the little readings under them. I'm going to try to do this with you guys one day. And Hidden Histories of Northwestern Pennsylvania. I don't think there's chapters in this one. Oh, there is. Not very many. Let's see, chapters. Horror, bloodshed, and murder in Penn's Woods. Broken bodies on steel tracks. Railroad disaster in northwest Pennsylvania. The Ghost Asylum in the Incendiary. Unusual stories in northwest Pennsylvania. Work, play, politics, and worship in rural northwest Pennsylvania. Striking clear gold, northwestern Pennsylvania. Mineral water bonanza. Opium, oil in Oregon. Rural medicine in northwest Pennsylvania. Hurricane of power, mother, daughters, and granddaughters in northwest. Brawling footballers, black baseball pioneers, and the fastest sway back who ever lived. Those are the chapters. They're long chapters. So we're going to have to do so much at a time when we read these. You don't do lives anymore, Mike? I know I used to. So, and I got this, I can't remember where I got it from. Haunted History Trails of New York State. When I come back, when I was down in Meadville, I've seen the trail that George Washington took. I thought about going down that and see what we can do. So we're gonna read the Jennings Harrow in the Hidden History. It's going to take a while to read it, but we're going to read it. Like I said, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be on here for a while. And I will check on my chat as I go. Down by Meadville, there's a trail that travels, I don't know if it's traveling to Waterford or coming from Waterford, but he was actually in Waterford, PA. Yeah, Pennsylvania. It's really neat. I seen it, and one of these days I'm gonna have to go down there and try it out. Horror, bloodshed, and murders in Penn's Woods. The Jennings Horror. Mary Jennings was a sweet 15-year-old girl who was going to school and growing up quickly in northwestern Pennsylvania countryside until her life was viciously taken, to the shock and dismay of the entire region in February of 1876. Miss Jennings was a perfectly healthy young woman when a man came to town and professed her to be ill and in need of treatment at once. J.S. Osborne declared that she was afflicted with blood cancer and must be immediately treated. To the surprise of her family and friends, the Titusville Herald noted she was a young girl just merging into womanhood and was troubled with those disabilities incidents to her age. I don't know. I gotta read and find out about it. Such as an occasional headache, pain in the stomach, nervousness, and general feeling of unrest. The symptoms were psychological or natural, therefore required no medication interference. It is only necessary that they should have attend to her sanitary and hygiene conditions to recover her in the process of time to the natural functions of her womanhood. In layman's terms, Mary was entering puberty, getting some teenage acne, and starting her period. However, Osborne was about to make sure Mary would never see the end of her teenage years. As treatment for her affliction, the doctor applied a corrosive salve to her skin. Bichloride of mercury, the compound created horrific blisters across her entire body, from her neck to the base of her spine. Period of time, what do you mean? What the hell here? Year? 1876. Osborne also rubbed it on her face and hair. Mary's entire body began to shed its own skin, sloughing off in pieces and burning her to death from the outside in. Not only did her skin come away from her body, but even her gums, teeth, internal organs began to blister and rupture. The Herald termed her death worse than murder. The Herald reporter went on to say that there has never been a more cruel, relentless, or appalling death than that which overtook this innocent, estimable young lady, who with her body rotted to the bones, died in unendurable agony, on her hands and knees, calling on her God to kill her and relieve her from the most excruciating suffering. Crucifixion is considered to be one of the most painful deaths and has been ostracized by the civilized nations, but it is nothing compared from the death of Mary Jennings. The former takes but few hours to destroy lives, but the latter took 3 weeks of agony utterly indescribable by human pen. Oh my God, this guy needs shot. He definitely needs shot. It took poor Mary to succumb to her horrific injuries, and she was not the only victim. The Herald found out that Osborne was not a real doctor, but a quack who poses as a medical professional and preyed on a variety of communities across the northwest Pennsylvania. Upon investigating, the paper uncovered that he also inflicted his hideous compound on other people across the region. A woman from Sugar Creek was dying at the same time as Mary Jennings from being mutilated by Osborne. The previous October, Osborne had also applied his liniment to a woman named Mrs. Hancock's and her 2 sons before treating them. Osborne bled Hancock's to the point of fainting and then applied the mercury across her back. He then did the same to her 2 sons. Fortunately, these 3 victims did not die due to timely intervention by a true medical professional, Dr. George Barr. Thank God. Osborne was eventually caught in Dempseytown and tried on February 9, 1876. He was imprisoned. But unfortunately, his imprisonment was not permanent. On October 5, 1876, edition of the Herald reported that Osborne was able to flee his jail cell by applying some corrosive compound of mercury that he used on people to the iron bars of his cell. The compound melted the bars and he escaped. If his mercury could melt iron bars, imagine the atrocities it wrought on human skin. Thankfully, Osborne would not escape justice altogether. After fleeing jail, he landed in Kentucky, where he found himself in a fight with a man whom he ended up killing. The Kentucky town hanged Osborne a few days later. The devil himself should fear Osborne, people say, before his medicine was more destructive than the fire of hell. I don't know. It didn't say. Mary Jennings would not live to see her 16th year, but 8 months later, her murderer would not live to torture another innocent soul. Okay, the September of bloodshed, the horrific cutting affair. Oh, these are little, okay, it's chapters within chapters. That's kind of cute. Corey's in here. Okay. I'm gonna go read Corey's. Skip it. The sensation of Corey. Unfortunate bloodshed in northwest Pennsylvania did not come to an end. With the close of the 19th century in 1908, a small Erie County town of Corey was rocked when the bodies of 2 Well-known locals were found bloodied and in the beginning stage of decomposition by the letter carrier. At about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, February 8, 1908, a substitute letter carrier lightly pushed open the door to the apartment above the Peerless Theater on West Main Street to set the residents' letters inside. As the door swung open, his eyes landed on Albert Damon, who was sitting moving in his living room chair. Looking at Damon's face, the letter carrier saw blood covering his nose, mouth, dried on his clothing, and pooled on the floor. He immediately fled for help and alerted the authorities to the crime scene. Local police raced to the apartment and were accompanied by Detective Watson from Erie. They immediately found the body of 61-year-old Albert D. Damon, owner and proprietor of the Peerless Theater above which he lived. After exploring the rest of the apartment, the police also discovered Jane Satterley, the 71-year-old sister of Damon, lying on the bed in the bedroom with her face the blankets and the floor covering in blood. The Titusville Herald reported first evidence that what they had killed himself, and the authorities searched for information concerning the supposed suicide pact. But after the coroner physician had completed an examination, he had found evidence of violence. The theory of murder gained ground rapidly. The physician determined that brother and sister were killed with a blunt instrument. Damon suffered a mangled, broken nose, broken jaw, fractured shoulders, and other bruises. Satterley's nose was also viciously broken, and her body was covered in bruises. At first, investigators thought the motive was robbery, as Damon was a well-off businessman. But nothing was stolen from the apartment, and the dead man's pockets contained a considerable sum of money. Information was quickly ascertained that Damon had recently changed his will, so a possible suspect could be someone affected by the change. Without making that explicit connection, the police arrested Damon's stepson and closest family member in the region, other than estranged wife, Alice. 22-year-old John Silloway, the son of Damon's widow to her second husband, was intensely questioned in the town lockup, but the young man refused to talk. Alice had gone to live with her son after fighting with her husband a few weeks earlier. Albert subsequently summoned his sister to help him keep house in Corey while he and his wife were separated. The town impaneled a jury of 6 local businessmen to determine the validity of keeping Silloway in jail. 3 days later, the Silloway in jail the whole time. The jury charged Silloway with accessory to murder. At the hearing, no media was allowed in. Much to the charging of the local paper, the jury did not say what his exact role was in the murder, nor did any of the gentlemen illuminate the murder weapon. It was also revealed at this time that Silva has been kept from his lawyer since being taken into custody, and there was no intention of letting him convene with a lawyer anytime soon. The most brutal murder in the annual Erie County had someone to pin it on, and the public was hungry for justice. Do you think he did it? Not everyone was happy to see Silvey charged. About 2 weeks after charges were brought, warrants for arrest of 3 more men were issued regarding the murder of Albert Damon and Jane Satterley. Much to the sensation of the town, the names of the accusers were familiar. Alpheus Damon, brother of the deceased; Clyde Damon, nephew of the deceased; Earl Damon, another nephew. Adding insults to injury, the names of these 3 Damons were given to the police by none other than Alice Damon, widow of the murdered Albert Damon, an extended family of those arrested. According to police, Alpheus was the chief beneficiary of Albert's property, real estate, life insurance policies upon the event of his death, and thus why Alice suspected him and his familiar associated of the murder. Almost immediately after the warrants were issued, Alpheus was brought into custody and the 2 nephews willingly gave themselves up on Saturday, March 7, 1908. Silway and 3 Damons were all brought before the judge for a hearing as to the proprietor of formal charges. Several thousand people from the community clamored to witness the proceedings. Multiple people took the stand, testified that saw John Silvey leaving the Damon's residence on or around the day of the murder. Even young Daisy Bull, only 15 years old, stood up under intense cross-examination and was stunned in her assessment that it was Silvey she saw exiting the apartment that Saturday afternoon. The judge determined that there was enough evidence to bring formal charges against Silvey and the young man who led back to his jail cell, which was waved and smiled to the large crowd. In contrast, the same judge also decided that there was no evidence against any of the Damons, and they were all freed, to the raucous cheer of the crowd. Boy, they don't have no evidence, so why keep them? Why is my screen making me look so big? Even though someone was formally charged with the murders, the twisted and turn of the case were not yet through. On March 17, 1908, Laverne King and Albert Brennan was arrested in connection to the murder. King and Brennan, 36-year-old half-brother John Silvey, were held in jail for 3 days before being released. Less than a week later, Brennan decided to take a public statement regarding his arrest. Brennan stated that he was disgusted by the bulldozing tactics of the police investigators, that he was wrongfully arrested, and that his half-brother John Silvey was completely innocent. On May 13, 1908, John Silvey was indicted by the grand jury in Erie for being an accessory to murder. The Titusville Herald reported that the examining physician declared during the grand jury proceedings that an anonymous person offered him $300 more than $7,500 today to strengthen his testimony against Silway. Apparently, the petition refused, but the public's suspicions were already rising to the probability of Silway's guilt at this point. Silway had been in prison for more than 3 months. No set bail was possibilities of release before trial. Silway's lawyer pleaded for his bail to be set, and finally, after 4 months, the judge set the bail amount. Silway was freed almost instantly in June. Silway's case was put on fall criminal trial schedule in Erie County in September. Bond quoted for the county attorneys. When the date arrived, they were unprepared to present a strong case against the young man. On September 23, 1908, the county prosecutor announced his intentions to drop charges against Silway due to lack of evidence. In addition, multiple doctors were prepared to testify on behalf of the defense that Damon and Satterley were not murdered at all, but rather died by suicide. In October of that year, the case was briefly argued in front of the judge as to whether the trial should or should not commence. Unfortunately for Silway and the reputation of criminal justice in Erie County, the judge said that he could not act in the matter until he had looked the law up a little more. The decision was reserved until he has had time to look it up. Judge Walling must have been in want of his legal books, as it took him 3 months to decide what the law was regarding the fate of John Silway's trial. On January 26, 1909, the judge decided that Silway must be freed from all charges because 2 criminal court terms had passed since his arrest without trial, and he was unjust to string him along forever with no resolution. However, the prosecutor was freed to bring charges against him in the future. Shortly after his release from legal responsibilities in the county, John Silway moved to Portland, Oregon with his mother Alice and his half-brother Albert Brennan. Alice Damon reverted to using the surname Brennan in an apparent and understandable attempt to distance herself from both the Silway and Damon's name. Silway and the Brennans began to make their lives anew out west, but it would not last long for young John. On February 3, 1910, just 2 years after the death of his stepfather and aunt in Corey, John Silway was reported dead at the age of 24. The newspaper reflected on the origin of his local fame, determined that the local authorities bubbled the case. Now that Silway is dead, no evidence remaining, the motive of death would remain unsolved. Albert Damon and Jane Satterley were buried in West Spring Creek Cemetery near Quarry. After their untimely death, little did anyone know at the time that the accused would be laid to rest only 2 years and more than 25,000 miles away in Oregon. While the death of Albert Damon and Jane Satterley certainly lived up to the labels in the sensation of Corey, it begs the question as to whether the sensation ended with 2 victims or 3. You guys gotta excuse me for a minute. That story happened here in Corey. Red. Mm. Mm. Red, you gotta let me in. I don't know how I did that. No, I'm not close. I'm same distance. I just can't figure out how I made myself so big. All right. You have a good night. Yeah, Don. My face is huge.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
check it out.
I don't know how.
Tap on the screen.
I tried that.
Go like this.
Oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah, I got it. I fixed myself. There goes George. Don, the story I just read out of this book is that, the Corey Theater. The, the guy that owned it and his sister were killed. This is a slow night. I could end it. See if anything else comes in. Hello? Oh, I got 6. Thank you. Hello? Welcome.
So,
Archie. Ooh. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to read a short story. By the time I read this, and it's time to get off. The Great Lakes were formed during the last ice age from the melt. Oh, it's called the Griffin, Lake Michigan. The Great Lakes was formed during the last ice age from melting glacier ice. Native Americans and later European settlers used the lakes for much needed transportation of goods and services. Established routes began to take shape and trade flourished. The first European vessel to sail the upper Great Lake was the Griffin, built by the famous French explorer René Robert Sieur de La Salle as a trading vessel. The Griffin left from Washington Island near Wisconsin in 1679. For its return maiden voyage, it sank and has never been found. Flash forward to modern times, and most of the boat traffic on the Great Lakes is recreational. In fact, Michigan boasts more freshwater coastline than any other state. Ask any Metro Detroiter about up north, and you'll likely hear a great summertime story about Lake Michigan or Lake Huron. A perfect day. In the summer of 1983, a group of out-of-state vacationers set sail near the island off the tip of Escanaba, Michigan. Two went diving. The other, Kathy, stayed on the boat to enjoy a beautiful, calm, sunny day on the lake. It was one of those perfect summer days, the kind of Michigander dreams about most of the year. It was dry and sunny. The temperature was near 80, and there was barely a cloud in the sky. Kathy drifted off to sleep on deck, with the warm sun getting a little bit too hot on her face. She awoke and as she glanced out toward the expansive lake, a ship came into view. Not just any ship. It was a grand sailing vessel, something that Columbus would have sailed to the New World. Full color and full scale, it dipped heavily up and down in the waves, except there were no waves that afternoon. It was an utterly calm day. The vision lasted only a few precious seconds before vanishing, but Kathy knew she had just witnessed something special. Feeling privileged to view something so unexpected, unexplained, and unbelievable. It was some time before she told her husband or friends about the ship. Finally, she shared her experience. She described to the group a tall ship with sails drawn. Not being an expert on ancient seagoing vessels, she said it was a Spanish galleon, like pirate ship. Her husband believed her, but was skeptical about it being a Spanish galleon, as they are more associated with the Florida coast than the Great Lakes. With everyone's curiosity pegged, Kathy's husband showed her a book on European sailing vessels and asked her to pick what one of the closest resembled what she had seen. She picked out the LaSalle Griffin, believed it, which is believed to have sunk in Lake Huron, or did it. Many have searched for the Griffin in Lake Huron, but never in Lake Michigan. The reason for this is that historically, writing from the Frenchman's father, Hennepin, states that the Griffin sank near Huron Island. Searchers took that to mean that the islands in Lake Huron, but one modern day diver had a different thought of where to find the Griffin. Steve Liebert, an archaeologist diver enthusiast, said that the French word Huron also means rough and wicked. This opens the possibility that the Griffin may have sunk in Lake Michigan near the Garden Islands. This is the closest to where Father Hickey stated that Griffin began to return journey to Niagara, Canada. In fact, Liebert had found a shipwreck that he believed could very well be the Griffin near the same Lake Michigan islands. Ironically, this is the same area where Kathy saw the ship nearly 20 years earlier. Here comes Uncle Sam. So what's stopping Liebert's group from confirming the ship identity and salvaging the wreck? Bureaucracy, government, red tape, and lots of it. The legal wrangler has been going on since 2001 and shows no sign of ending anytime soon. In a nutshell, here's the problem. Once an ancient shipwreck is identified, the country or of origin can claim it. In this case, the French have been cooperative and stand ready to claim the vessel in order to identify the ship. The country and the state of the wreck resting place must give permission to begin the process. The state of Michigan will not issue a salvage permit unless they get an exact location. Liebert's group can provide this as long as the state signs a non-disclosure to keep the public from pillaging the site, and non-complete to keep the state from stealing the group's historical discoveries.
This has little to do with the money and more to do with principle. Like I said, the Griffin is an important historical find, he explained. Contrary to what most people think, the Griffin wasn't loaded with gold or silver. It was a fur trading vessel. Hundreds of years ago, fur was like money, and although commoners would live without gold and silver, they couldn't live without warm clothes and blankets. Fiber continued, if I was looking for riches, I'd be down in Florida hunting for the gold bullion with everyone else. The ship is a time capsule that will fill the missing gaps of LaSalle's earlier exploration of North America, Levitt said. Although LaSalle made history for his exploration west of the Mississippi, little is known for his early travels. For more details of the Griffin, legal updates, and how you can get straightened out this mess, go to lasallegriffin.org. Okay, I'm going to get off here. Thanks everybody for stopping in.